Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Plasma and I like mini games. Today I've got something neat for you, so subscribe and let's take a closer look. So, right here I've got a target practice that will light up and give you a score when you hit it. So let's say the player has a certain number of arrows. Whenever you hit a target, it's going to give you a point for each time, and it'll light up to let you know that you hit it. And this is actually fairly easy to build. This is just an easy little thing I figured I'd do a video on. So I missed it that time. It looked like I hit it, but I did not. Oop. There we go. I got it that time. Got it that time. And so each time it will put a point into a box for each one I managed to hit. And so let's go ahead and take a look at how this works. Let me show you the interiors of the one I built, and then I'll show you how to build it. So if we look in here, I'm going to go, and we'll leave it running. I'm going to go spectator. So what I've got here is a pair of flying machines that are going back and forth. They're actually pretty simple. This one is a little bit more complicated on this end because I am doing a piston to move it. This piston keeps it from dragging the trapdoor with it. This honey block would be an issue. And you can use slime blocks if you want to. I just consider honey blocks easier to obtain than slime blocks. And so what we're doing to score our points is we are taking a dropper that will trigger an item. What's happening is when the dropper fires the item, these hoppers are going to suck it up and put it into the chest. And up against it, we're taking some observers and we're detecting that, and we're going to do redstone signal with whatever that is. And so I've got this rigged. This is more complicated than what you'll have to do, but I've got this rigged so that it only fires once as fast as I possibly can get it so that these lights blink and the noise happens right away. And so if you were to do it a number of other ways, it could be a little bit slower. That's a little bit beyond the scope of what I'm going to show you today, but let's just go ahead and look at how this works in piece by piece, and I'll show you how to build a simple one. So right here, we've got the what do you call it, flying machine. And in order to disable a flying machine, all you really have to do is cause the end that causes it to move to be powered. So by flicking this lever on, I can cause it to stop. Otherwise, it'll go. And so the ends that cause it to change direction are just going to be a trapdoor that is powered after a delay by an observer that sees it. And the reason you need this delay is because if it's too quick, so like this, you see, it doesn't like it. There you go. And so and I'm going to do that, and now nothing will happen, so it'll come to a stop. And so let me show you how to build this. So all you really need is to pick the spot where you want to put it, and you're going to put a basic pair of sticky pistons like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to do observers in two different directions. So first decide where you want your target to go. Let's say we want to put our target up here. Well, then you would need to put your observers so that they are facing the right way. The reason is if we put an observer like this, it's not going to be happy because when this observer is triggered, it's going to be hitting the piston that moves it, and you're going to end up with an infinite loop. You don't want that. You don't want that. There we go. And so you want it to be facing the other one. And so when however you set it up, that's how it's got to be built. This observer needs to be powering the other piston. And so that's all you have to do. Let me face this one upward, and that'll do this piston, and that's it. And so now, if I do this one, it'll go that way. If I do this one, it'll go that way. And so, and I can grab some obsidian here to bring it to a stop. And so if you want to set up a simple little pair of bookends to cause it to change direction, what you can do is you have an observer here that's going to detect it. And what you need to do is you need to have, so in my example, I actually had the target up 1 block higher. And if you're going to do it like this, and there's reasons why that's helpful, it actually looks better and looks cleaner. If it were closer to the edge, you'd be able to see the machine running, whereas if you looked here, you can't really see it, so it just kind of dangles. It looks better that way. But if you want to do it this way, you can't use a trapdoor here. And the reason is this honey block's going to grab it and move it away. And so what you can do is instead, you can take a piston and you can push a piston like so. And so you can just cause the piston to push, and you can do the same for a tick delay. And so what we just need to do is wrap the signal around. And so we'll take this and this, and what we'll do is we'll just put this here. That'll take a redstone signal in there. And so what we can do is just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. So this observer is going to power this block, which powers this redstone. And so that'll do it. And so if this is coming back, so let's put it over here on this side. And now we're going to send it back. What will happen is this piston will fire. And it'll come back. And so then you can do the easier method over here, where you literally just put this into a block like that. And then you can just drop a trapdoor and a repeater on top like this. So this is that. And we put a trapdoor right. Oh, this is for doing the other way. I actually did this backwards. So what you would do in this case is you want to put the trapdoor right here. I mean here. There we go. So yeah. So yeah, in this particular case, you'd want to put it like that. And that'll do it. Boop. You don't have to have that, because it's powering this, strongly powering this block, which means that this redstone's going to be powered. And so that's all there really is to it. So the only other key ingredient is really just that once you get this set up, I recommend using some kind of glazed terracotta because it's not pulled. I mean, you can use obsidian if you want to. Not pulled by the honey blocks. And so what you'd do is you'd have your target here, and then you just have droppers that are facing the other way. Oops. Like this. Wherever you want your window to be. So let's say we wanted our window right here. And so that's all you'd have to do. I can fix this actually pretty easily. And so what we'll do is we'll just have these, and then make it dispense an item. You could do it into a water stream if you wanted, and just fill these up with the items you want to use for your scorekeeping. And then whenever you hit it, see, I missed. You'll hear it click if you hit it, and so they'll just dispense one. I won't bore you with the specifics of setting up a water stream or setting up some hoppers, but essentially you would just want to collect those, and then you could do a redstone signal based on that. I went over too far. It doesn't actually go that far. So actually, it would be like this wide. See? Make more sense. And so when I hit it, you'll hear a click. That was weird. Looks like sometimes when it gets hit and lands on this, it'll click twice. That's funny. Normally from a distance, it's only going to click once, so it'll work. It's just a little weird when you're that up close. And that's it for this video. Figured I would keep it simple, but this is a neat little toy you can play with. Definitely recommend playing around with it in a creative world, but maybe you can even make one in survival with your friends. It's not too expensive to make. Have a good rest of your day. Subscribe if you haven't. Bye.